From the first bout to the last stand, this is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron Loves Wrestling. AEW, WENWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron Loves Wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no war, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Fire, one world, one voice, taking us higher. A-L-W-A-R-O-A-L-W-O. Monday night Raw to Friday night SmackDown, Saturday night main event under the neon lights. The NXT has the rising stars, the future is looking pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight, from Wednesday night Dynamite to Saturday night Collision. New Japan battles, hearts on fire, from the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico. In every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AAW, every New Japan pride. TNA on the rise, AWA on the rise. Different letters but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters, from the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound, when the entrance hits, we are all ready to sign. Aaron Loves Wrestling, side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts, they will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging Reigns. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism, just love for the business until the end of time.
No logos on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place, from every city to every nation. We're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron Loves Wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. From the open American Cowboy will always rock.
From the first bout to the last stand, this is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron Loves Wrestling. AEW, WENWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron Loves Wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no wars, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Say one world, one voice. Say
How's it going on, my wrestling lovers? Aaron Loves Wrestling Podcast, and I am your host, Dr. Love himself, A.A. Ron, and I am here to talk about TNA Impact. That's right, TNA Impact was a great show last night. I enjoyed it. I watched it. I loved it, and I'm here to going to review it and going to do more reviews in the future and possibly even some watch-alongs. TNA is about to debut within a little under 2 weeks now on AMC, and we'll see how the future looks for TNA on AMC, and you can also view on TNA Plus. I watch on TNA Plus, but if you have cable, you can watch on AMC. And this is a bigger deal for TNA. This is a bigger deal for TNA because this brings a lot of viewers. 60 million homes have AMC. 60 million. A lot of viewers to TNA by watching on AMC. It brings in some casual viewers. For us wrestling fans, we probably watched on TNA Plus. Maybe we'll see some highlights on YouTube or watch on Access TV. But with us viewing, it's a little under 100,000 viewers according to online sources. With AMC, it could go up to 200 to 3 to 4, maybe even 500,000 viewers weekly watching TNA Impact. We'll see how even the pay-per-views do. We'll see how the pay-per-views do. Maybe in the future, TNA goes to like the PLE format, and we have TNA on the PLE format like WWE. I can see that happening. But with that, we'll see what it goes on in the future with TNA. I'm excited. I love TNA. I've been watching TNA going on 20 years. It'll be 20 years this year, actually. 2006 is when I first started watching TNA. 2006 was when I first started watching TNA Impact. And now, here I am 20 years later still watching. It had its highs and it's had its lows. Between 2006 and 2008, that was a really high peak moment for TNA. In 2009, it started dwindling. In 2010, when you had Hogan and Bischoff come along with Dixie Carter, then a lot of things happened. And them going to Monday night to try to compete with WWE, that was a big mistake. They were trying to bring back some Monday Night War when it didn't even have any ground to stand on, really, at the time. with TNA. Should have built it up first and kept it going. Built it up first, and then see where we go from there. They just rushed that too soon. Plus, bringing in a lot of old talent to overshadow the younger talent, which the fans love. The younger talent, the new talent, alternative talent, and just a lot of bad things happen. Then over time, TNA just slowly lost viewers and slowly went down. And then around when Scott D'Amore got a hold of it, I think it was around 2020, maybe a little bit prior to that. Then it started getting really good again. And then he brought back the classic look with a little modern twist to it. And I love the TNA ring, the yellow ropes, the red, yellow, and black. I love it. But then Scott D'Amore got the boot. And then in comes Carlos Silva. And then now we got Carlos Silva leading TNA. And then we got creative with Tommy Dreamer. I believe Tommy Dreamer is head of creative. Matt and Jeff Hardy also have their ideas involved as well. So now we have TNA on a positive road with the direction and with some with leadership. So we'll see where TNA goes from here in 2026 and forward on AMC, and we'll see if maybe they'll become close to the number 2 promotion, maybe number 3. We will see. I started the pod a little bit on X/Twitter, and I'll read it here in a minute. And it really has started the pot. A lot of people have been chiming in, and a lot of the AEW hardcore tribalist fans have chimed in on it. And all due respect to everyone who is an AEW fan. I mean, no disrespect. I don't hate AEW. I love AEW, and I love the fans that I follow, and they follow me, and we engage and we talk about AEW in a positive way. So there's no disrespect. It was just a thought of mine, and it was just something that I was thinking about, that maybe TNA could go on the rise and get close to AEW or become the number 2 wrestling promotion. The partnership with WWE lasts all the way to 2028. But when that comes up, then what? What will we see then? Well, we have 3 major wrestling promotions by then with WWE, AEW, and TNA. A lot of people were mocking and making fun of TNA in the comments. Well, let's just remember that TNA has had a lot of ups and downs throughout the years and a lot of change of leadership and everything like that. So let's keep that in mind. AEW has had one leadership and one owner, and that was Tony Khan. And even though they went through their lows and their highs, and last year in 2025 was a great year, but we'll see what goes on in 2026. We'll see what happens in 2026. For me, AEW is promotion of the year in 2025. A lot of great stories and a lot of great matches. We'll see what happens in 2026. We'll see if AEW is still that, or will TNA steal it for me, or WWE. I don't know. But I'm here to give a positive outlook on professional wrestling as a whole, and not just one company. And that is also now TNA. And I'm going to watch TNA as a whole throughout the year, give my thoughts and reviews, and review AEW as well, and even WWE. And we'll see what happens here at the end of 2026. Eric Bischoff claimed that within 12 months, TNA will top AEW. I don't know about that. That's a wild prediction. That's a bold prediction. Matt Hardy even stated on his podcast that was on this morning, The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, and one of his predictions in 2026 was TNA was going to top AEW and become the number 2 promotion. So we'll see. I'm here for it. I'm going to watch. I'm going to be a fan. I'm not no soldier for anybody. I'm not loyal to anyone. I will go to any wrestling show. I don't care. And I plan on going to a TNA show at some point this year as well. So TNA, I've been a fan since 2006. One of my first favorites was James Storm. James Storm was my first favorite. Sorry about your dang luck. That's right. I love James Storm. He is one of my was my top favorite in TNA. And I love James Storm all the way until the end there. And I hope he can return. I really hope he can. He's still wrestling. He's wrestling on that Juggalo Championship Wrestling, I think it is. So hopefully he can return home to TNA. We could see him back in TNA Impact because I do love James Storm, and I'd love to see the Cowboy back in TNA one more time, or maybe for one last ride. But like James Storm was my favorite. AJ Styles, Sting, list goes on. And over the years, I've had different favorites in TNA. Wasn't a big fan of TNA when they had the little that one year when they did that global thing. When Jeff Jarrett did that global, it was Global Force Wrestling or something like that. That was odd, and it wasn't a fan of it. So I watched it, but it was hard to watch. Sometimes I didn't watch it. But now TNA has again some stability and sense of direction right now with the new ownership, creative team, and now they're on AMC TV and they partner with WWE. So we'll see what goes on in 2026 and in the future. I got Rick Bolo. What's up? Howdy, Rick. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? He said, who knew that TNA would go to war with WWE in 2010, then 15 years later would collab with them? I know, right? I know. They went to war on Monday nights, and then now here they are collabing with them. I have to ask, 4-sided or 6-sided ring? I like so the 6-sided is cool, but I've heard wrestlers comment about the 6-sided ring and how difficult it was and how more impactful it was on their bodies because there's not a lot of give in those ropes. There's not. So there's not a lot of bounce or anything in those ropes. I think Sting talked about it, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go look back at that article again. I think it was Sting that talked about it, that he wasn't a fan of the 6-sided ropes, and that was why, because there wasn't a lot of give with the ropes, and I even think the ring too, because of the structure and everything. So it was really more impactful and demanding on the body. So as a fan perspective, it's different. I like the 6-sided ring, but for a wrestler's perspective, I can get why they don't want to do the 6-sided ring. So I'm not hating on it. I like the 4-sided. I do like the traditional vibe, and I like the what they got now with the yellow ropes and the red, yellow, and black colors and stuff. I liked what they got. I like what they have now. I do. Wasn't a huge fan of the blue look. I don't know, just TNA Impact. I grew up when I first started watching. It was the red, yellow, black, and then when they changed from that to the blue look, I wasn't a huge fan of it, and I'm glad that they got that back with a modern twist to it. So. But like I said, TNA Impact last night was a really good show. I enjoyed it. I loved the show from start to finish. And we had kicking off the first Impact of 2026, and then now the first match. We had the Knockouts tag team match with the Elegance brand. Heather, we got M and Heather going up against the Angel Warriors, Leah Ying Lee. Hopefully I said that right. If I didn't, forgive me. And Xia Brookside. And this was a really great tag team match. And one spot in the match that really got me like, ooh, that was brutal, was when I think it was Heather M. And she ran around the side and she jumped to deliver a drop kick to Xia Brookside, which she was like kind of hanging off the bottom rope there. And when she hit her head and her head bounced the way it did, I was like, oh my gosh, that was brutal. But overall, this was a solid knockout match. I enjoyed it. We had the Elegance brand win by pinfall. Danny Luna got in the middle of this match, interfered, and attacked Ying Lee as she is making it known that she's coming out for that Knockouts championship. And it's good to see Ying Lee as the Knockouts champion. I was really pushing for her in WWE, and now that to see her in TNA and get her spot in TNA, she's a great talent, and I'm glad that she's getting her spot at the top of the mountain, and it's in TNA. The Knockouts division is strong. I mean, you got a nice Knockouts division with a deep roster for TNA. So I'm going to go over it here real quick. Of course, you got the champion, Lee Xing Lee, and then you got the Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Inspiration, Ash Elegance, but she's injured at the moment. You got Xia Brookside, Alicia Edwards. You got, of course, Casey Lee, a part of the Inspiration. Danny Luna. You got Heather by Elegance, the M by Elegance. You got Harley Hudson, which is pretty cool. Andy Hartwell, which I'm glad she's getting her shot as well in TNA. She's had some great matches. Jada Stone, she's a new one, and she was really good last night. She had a match as well. Jody Threat, she's pretty cool. Kelly's awesome. Clean King, and then you got Mara Sade, which she was with last tag team and Last Legend and WWE, but now she's TNA, doing really great. She got Mila Moore, one of the new talents that is alongside Tessa Blanchard, Mila Grace, Rosemary, which is an OG, Tasha Steeles, Tessa Blanchard, Victoria Crawford, which is formerly in WWE as well, as Alicia Fox. And then now you got Xia Brookside. So it's a nice roster for the Knockouts. And I would like for them to strengthen up that Knockouts tag team division a little bit. But overall, the Knockouts division is looking pretty good. And there's at one point in TNA, and I like how they do this injury report segment. I really do. The injury report segment in TNA, when they stop and they do the injury report and who's injured and how long they're out, etc. I really like that because it kind of gives you that information of why haven't I seen so and so in so long? Why haven't I seen so and so in so long? But and I love how they do that with the little injury report. So with that, I just want to make that love how TNA is different and that they do that. I really do. So going on to the next match, you got Mustafa Ali in the hometown man, which was I like the hometown man. He's pretty cool. He gets the crowd going, and I like his theme. The theme is really awesome. They had a really good match. It was a pretty quick match. Mustafa Ali, though, won, and he had his 450 splash. And Mustafa Ali is great talent as well, and I'm glad he's getting his spotlight in TNA. I really hated how WWE didn't give him that push, but I'm glad that he's getting it in TNA, and hopefully one day he'll be the TNA World Champion or the International Champion, or maybe X Division Champion. But I'd like to see him win that TNA World Championship. After the match, he had Elijah, which formerly known as Elias, in WWE. Elijah is now in TNA. Who wants to walk with Elijah? I love Elijah, one of my favorites. I really loved him in WWE, and I hated that he didn't get his push as well. Great talent. I love the guitar gimmick. I love how he always came out and he sang, and even would sing horribly. He actually could sing pretty good if you heard him sing for real. And I just loved Elijah. I really did. Or Elias in WWE, but I love Elijah in TNA. So hopefully he will also get his time at the top, and he will win a TNA World Championship, because Elijah is a great talent. He is great in the ring, talented in the ring, and I love his gimmick and the promo on the mic. You had also a 6 knockouts tag team match with the Diamond Collective, with Tessa Blanchard, Victoria Crawford, and Mila Moore, going up against Indy Hartwell, Jody Threat, and Jada Stone, which they were saying Jada Stone was newly signed, which was a great match, great 6-woman tag team match. And in the end, you had Diamond Collective get the win by pinfall. So there's a lot of mixed opinions about Tessa Blanchard. I'm not going to get into it. She's a great talent. I'm glad TNA is giving her spot back. All I got to say is just, learn to forgive and let go. That's all I got to say. Everybody deserves a second chance, third chance, fourth chance. Give other chances, forgive, and let go. God said if you don't forgive others, he won't forgive you. So remember that. But this was a great 6-woman tag team match. I enjoyed it. My match of the night is this: the X Division #1 contender match, which early in the show, you had Santino Marella, the GM of TNA. He was down in the dumps in the back because last week his daughter turned on him, and she is with Stax now, and they're in a relationship. So she's with Stax, and she turned on Morella to join Stax. It's kind of like a Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and Vince McMahon moment. I like how they did that little throwback. I really did. So he's down in the dumps backstage, and you had the Rascals show up to Santino Marella about getting their shot for the X Division Championship. And it was between Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz, and Trey Miguel. So with them being in a triple threat, and I like how they came out together in their entrance. They didn't come out separately. They just came out together. And then they had their match. And then the match was phenomenal. I love this match. Great match for me. A good 4 out of 5 star match, in my opinion. These three guys tore the house down. And if you don't think there's some great wrestling in TNA, I highly recommend you go and watching the replay of this match and then come back to me, because this match was amazing match. Myron Reed gets the win, wins by pinfall. His springboard 450 splash is completely amazing, and I love this this match. Again, this is my match of the night. So these guys right here won it for me. And we have Myron Reed, your new number 1 contender for the X Division Championship, which is going to be defended on the January 15th debut episode at AMC. So I am ready to watch that. Might be doing a watch along for that. We're going to try to go to the show because it's near me in Dallas, but finances said otherwise. So hopefully I get to catch him back around. So we'll see. But you also had the Righteous and the Hardy segment. And I thought that was a really good segment. And I love how the Righteous and the Hardys are feuding with one another. I've always been a big fan of the Righteous. I loved them before they were in AEW. I think I first watched them. Maybe it was Ring of Honor at the time before AEW got a hold of Ring of Honor. Maybe it was MLW or something. I can't remember when I first watched the Righteous, but I've been a fan of theirs since. And when they got to AEW and on Ring of Honor, I really hated how they did not get pushed in AEW. I really did, because they would have been solid for the tag team division. But the contract expired, and they went to TNA, and they fit better in TNA, in my opinion, than they do in AEW. They do. So I love that they're in TNA. I love that they collab with Killer Cross outside of TNA, and I hope Killer Cross – I'm going to say this. I really hope Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux get signed in TNA. I would love for them to go to TNA and then join the Righteous in a faction. I would love Killer Cross to be in the main event scene, competing for the TNA World Title, because Cross not getting pushed in WWE was a letdown. So I would love to see him get pushed in TNA and him sign a contract with TNA and be with TNA and become one day the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So putting it out there, Carlos Silva, if you're listening, sign Killer Cross and Scarlett. Sign them. Sign them. Get them signed in TNA. I think they fit way better in TNA than AEW. So that was a fun segment. You also had a little vignette with the Hardys entering their locker room, and some weird stuff started happening. So I like this interaction with the Hardys and the Righteous, and I like that the Hardys are going to put the Righteous over. And then hopefully the Righteous can win those TNA World Tag Team Championships, and then the Righteous can be the face of the tag team division in TNA. And the Hardys had an amazing 2025. They were my tag team of the year in 2025. They've held the tag team championships for a very long time, had many great matches, won other tag team titles outside of TNA, and had a really great match with the Dudleys for one last time. It wasn't your high-paced, impactful match. It was not how they used to do anyway, but you got to remember these guys are up there. They don't move as good as they used to. The Hardys are still hanging on. So I really enjoyed this match, and I thought the match was great at Bound for Glory. I was really trying to go and attend it, but again, finances said otherwise, and I couldn't get off of work. So it is what it is. I really hated that. You have to miss that moment, but I got to watch it. So I got to watch it, and I enjoyed it. Moving on to the main event. Uh, Frankie Kazarian puts his TNA World Title on the line against Bear Bronson. I really thought Bear Bronson was going to win here, considering how they were pushing him and hyping him up. And I love Bear Bronson, and if they stick with him, honestly, and they continue to put him in that main event picture and compete for the TNA World Championship, Bear Bronson, he's great in the ring. Love the character, love the entrance, love everything about Bear Bronson. He is really, right now, besides Elijah, my top favorite in TNA. So I really love this match. Sadly, Frankie Kazarian retained the TNA World Title due to pinfall. He won. So he won the match and retained his title. I was really pulling for Bear Bronson. Hope he get the win, but it didn't happen. After the match, you had Mike Santana come out. And he confronts Kazarian, and he wants a world title rematch. Morella approved it. So I really enjoyed. I really am hyped for this match, and hopefully, we get Mike Santana winning the title back, and he has a longer title reign this time. Other things to point out in the show last night: Ariana Grace, Santana's daughter, cut a great promo. She explained her betrayal of her dad. She aligned with the NXT talent, and we're having that cross-brand warfare still going on between the NXT and TNA, and I love it. I really do. And it is really helping TNA, in my opinion. It really is. He had the system segment and JDC, which was also Fandango in WWE. He's having his retirement match at Genesis. Sadly, he's hanging up the boots. He can't wrestle forever, though. But he is having his retirement match, and it is set for Genesis. So I thought this was a really good show overall. Speaking of Genesis, let's look at it real quick. You got Eddie Edwards and JDC 101. You got Mustafa Ali and Elijah 101, which after Mustafa Ali's match last night, Elijah had some mind games going. You had somebody walk across the entrance ramp with the guitar holding in front, which it wasn't Elijah. It was a distraction, and then Elijah attacked Mustafa Ali and his group. So you got Elijah and Mustafa Ali going 101 at Genesis. I was really hoping to attend this show as well, but sadly will not be able to. And then you have now right now at Genesis, even though the X Division title's on the line on the January 15th episode of AMC. As of now, it is X Division champion Leon Slater putting on the title on the line, a triple threat match against Cedric Alexander and Moose. If Myron Reed wins that title, then you will have Myron Reed defend the title against Cedric Alexander and Moose. And I love that Cedric Alexander is in TNA. He has really fit in really well with TNA. And again, you have the star power in TNA. You do. The star power is in TNA for them to elevate and to get bigger and better and stronger. And like I said, climb the rankings. Climb the rankings. Some people have stated they don't consider TNA in their top 10, their top 5, blah, blah, blah. But why do they hate on TNA? And I really don't like that tribalism. And I'm calling out the AEW fans on that. If TNA was aligned with AEW, you would not be saying the things that you were saying right now. But just because they have a partnership with WWE, now all of a sudden they're the enemy. They're not the enemy. It's a wrestling promotion. It's a wrestling show. Can they be competition? Sure, they could be competition in the future. They could be in the competition for AEW. So if you're a hardcore AEW loyalist out there, I get it. You're threatened. But at the end of the day, TNA, they got some star power. They got some talent in TNA. Remember the Hardys? They were in AEW at one point, but now all of a sudden they're an enemy because they're in TNA. I mean, I just don't get the tribalism, man. The double standard, I just don't like it. But But yes, this is our Genesis pay-per-view look so far. Obviously, we're going to get some more matches, world title match. So this isn't the end. Let's go in the comments real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Rick, what's up, man? I am so old. I remember when TNA Impact was on Fox Sports 1. Man, OG right here. When I started watching, it was on Spike TV. Mustafa Ali was X Division champ in the past. Yes, he was. Hopefully, he'll get the TNA World Title shot in the future. I happened to watch the Triple Threat match on YouTube. It was phenomenal. Yes, if you did not watch the Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz Triple Threat match last night for the number one contender, to be number one contender for the X Division Championship, I highly recommend you go and rewatch it. Great match. I'm going to rewatch it again here in a minute. How about the Hardys winning the NXT tag titles over Dark State? Yep, that is true. They won the NXT titles, TNA titles, Fourth Rope Tag Team Championships, the House of Glory Tag Team Champions. I mean, the Hardys were collected gold in 2025. That's why they're my tag team of the year. Imagine Cedric Alexander making an appearance in NXT. That would be cool. It would be really cool. I would absolutely love that. Cedric Alexander is a great talent. I enjoyed him in WWE. I hated that he didn't get his push either. So, I mean, he had some great matches, but no push with a title or in a top story. So maybe we'll get to see that more in TNA. Now let's go on to my post. I want to briefly talk about this because I want to have a special episode coming up here. I'm thinking Sunday night, about WWE versus TNA. Who's going to be the number 1-2 wrestling promotion in the near future? This is my post, and it stirred up the IWC. Oh my goodness! And here comes the AEW loyalists and tribalists coming out the works. Could TNA actually pass AEW as wrestling number 2 promotions? And not just AEW fans, but he had WWE tribalists too come in because they were like, "Yeah, TNA is already number 2." Hold that thought. But let's go on. Could TNA actually pass AEW as wrestling number 2 promotion? I got some analytics from online here with this. And I put what could possibly be the viewership of TNA when it goes to EMC. It has access to 60 million homes right now on Access and TNA Plus. They're around 100,000 viewerships weekly. They're around 1,000 to 1,500 in attendance weekly. AEW, that's what they average, 1,000, 1,500-ish. To 2,500-ish, maybe 3 here and there, except for the pay-per-views. Calm down now. Pay-per-views, yes, they get more, but for weekly shows, AEW averages between that 900 to 2,000 to 2,500 mark. So with the support of AMC and promotional pushes, key lead-ins and event tie-ins and everything, hitting 200, 300K viewership regularly in 2026 is a possibility. That's the projection. AEW Dynamite averaging around 450 to 520K viewers on cable. We don't know the max numbers. People keep putting those posts out there. Well, the max numbers are 500K or 4. This maybe. I'm not saying they're not. I am not here saying that they're not or that they are because I don't know. There hasn't been really a confirmed source of the numbers with AEW on max. So there's no confirmed source there. If there is, please enlighten me. Throughout 2025, Dynamite has tended to average roughly 485. These are facts. This is no hate or shame on AEW. I watch AEW weekly, and I love AEW. Viewership per week on TV with 18 to 49 demo, typically in the 0.8 to 0.11 range. Though special events like Blood and Guts have pushed around 600, 700K, their weekly average is around 400 to 500K. Even at one point, I think it was Collision, it was below 400. It was around 300 something. So that was what happened with that was AEW 25. 2025 TNA Impact has shown real growth. TNA Impact has shown real growth in 2025. Weekly TNA Impact tapings typically draw around 1,000 to 2,000 fans for standard arena tapings. Yes, they tape their shows. They're not live yet, especially outside major pay-per-view events, which they had the biggest attendance in TNA history at Slammiversary with 7,000, I think 100, 200 something. And then you had Bound for Glory over 6,000. So, and Bound for Glory is like their WrestleMania. Slammiversary is like their SummerSlam. So with that being said, with these analytics here, the stats, TNA could very possibly catch AEW in the near future. I'm not saying 2026. Maybe. It's a possibility. You never know. Never say never. But with TNA look at the fan attendance. Look at the fan attendance. 1,000 to 2,000 fan attendance, maybe a little under 1,000 here and there. Same for AEW. They're approximately around 3,000 to 3,200 fans per show. They have had some shows where it's been below 2,000. And again, this is no knock or hate or die on AEW. I love All Elite Wrestling. I'm a fan. Hangman Adam Page is my boy. Hopefully he can win that world title back. I love Swerve. I love the talent there. I consistently watch AEW on a weekly basis. I love the show. But this is a possibility. TNA Impact could possibly, in the future, be the third competition between WWE and AEW. You're like, oh, well, WWE has the partnership with TNA. True, it's a partnership. It's not, for my knowledge, there might be a contract involved, but it's a partnership. WWE doesn't own TNA. Maybe one day they might buy it, and if so, well, then there goes that. There won't be any kind of legitimate third competition. But until that happens, TNA could very easily, by using WWE and piggybacking off their success and off their backs, could become the number 2 promotion. When TNA partnered with AEW, they didn't elevate like this, like they are with TNA. And it's no knock on AEW. It's just the different styles and presentations of the wrestling shows. WWE and TNA are similar to each other. AEW, New Japan, and CMLL are similar to one another. So TNA partnering with the AEW is like, that's like New Japan trying to partner with WWE. It's not going to work because of different styles of presentations and how they present professional wrestling. It is nothing to hate on AEW on just because the partnership didn't work with TNA at the time. It is just the different styles and presentations of wrestling that AEW offers differently than WWE and TNA. Does it mean it's bad? No, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it was different. It didn't work out. The partnership didn't work out. But for WWE, it is. And it's helping TNA. And I love it because that means there's a third option, or there's more options, I would say. There's more options to watch in professional wrestling. And more jobs for the wrestlers. They don't have to go to AEW or WWE. If TNA gets bigger than what it is and they can seal some contracts in and lock down some wrestlers, that's great. That's great for the business. That's great for the wrestlers, especially because there's another place for them to work. They ain't got to be, oh, crap, AEW or WWE, which one do I go to? They can go to TNA if they choose to do so. It doesn't have to be WWE and AEW. But with TNA coming in the mix, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they're using TNA to knock out AEW. Or what if the roles are reversed? What if TNA is using WWE to piggyback off their success so they can get bigger and better and they can go and compete with AEW? It's a possibility. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. AEW right now is the number 2 wrestling promotion. For you WWE loyalists and tribalists out there, they're like, oh, no, it's TNA. No, it's not, because I don't see TNA pulling in the numbers on the pay-per-view buys that the AEW is. I don't see the fan attendance as of now that TNA is doing for AEW. They had 2 shows that they hit around 6,000 to 7,000 people. AEW had 20,000 plus at All In. And for all the other pay-per-views, around 8,000 to 10,000. And that Forbidden Door, they had near 20,000, breaking the record in that arena. And then you had around 8 to 10,000 World's End last weekend. So right now, AEW is the number 2 promotion in professional wrestling. But TNA could take that spot here in the near future. Again, before I get too far in a rant, that's for another episode for another day, because I have another episode coming up here shortly, and maybe tomorrow or Sunday, we'll see with timing, that talking about this with AEW versus TNA. It's going to be a little special episode, so tune in. But for Impact last night, TNA, if you missed the TNA Impact show last night, I highly encourage you to go watch it. I really do. Go watch TNA Impact. Go watch TNA Impact right now. Next Thursday, it'll be on the final episode on Access TV, but you can watch on TNA Plus. And on January 15th, the week after, it'll be on AMC and TNA Plus. Every Thursday at 7. And now, especially with football being over, NFL coming to a close this Sunday, maybe the viewerships can go up for TNA, and maybe they could pick a different spot. I don't know. It's kind of full right now with WWE, Raw on Monday, NXT, and NWA Power on Tuesday, Dynamite and Evolve on Wednesday, Ring of Honor is also on Thursday, and then SmackDown on Friday, and you get Collision on Saturday. Maybe they could put TNA on the same time frame as Collision on Saturday nights. Something to think about. But Saturday night, that's kind of that's putting yourself in the corner with that one, because so many top sports games go on Saturday nights, especially when it's football season with college football. But you also got baseball and basketball in there as well, hockey. So putting it on Saturday night is kind of hard. Thursday night's even hard when you get football season, because NFL Thursday night football, but you also get Major League Baseball as well when the baseball season kicks up. So really attracting. Here's the difference between a casual fan and a wrestling fan. A wrestling fan is going to show up and watch whatever show, whatever company, and watch wrestling no matter what. A casual fan, they'll watch if it piques their interest and if it's the right story or who they want to watch. But a real wrestling fan is going to watch regardless. That's the difference between a casual and a wrestling fan. Yes, you want to try to catch those casuals, but in the end, you really want to focus on catching the wrestling fans, because those are what's going to show up every week. Casual fans, they're going to be fickle. They're going to show up whenever they feel like it, or if it really interests them. Kind of like TV shows. You got some people out there that are hardcore, like they're going to watch this show every single week. They're going to record it if they have to. And then you got some of the casuals like, hey, is this episode good or not? Okay. Same thing with movies. Movies are the same thing. So with wrestling fans, these wrestling promotions really target to appeal to the wrestling fans, not the casual viewer, because the casual viewer is going to come and go. Wrestling fans, they're going to show up every single week and watch a show. So that's the difference. Let's go in the comments one more time before we end it. Marlo says, I watch along for Dynamite and Collision if interested. Yeah, we can collab on a watch along here shortly for Dynamite Collision. He also says, I think TNA is solidly the number 2 wrestling promotion. They have been for some time, even before AEW came around. I disagree, respectfully. AEW right now is the number 2 promotion, but TNA could take that spot back. Man, I love TNA so much back in the day. I really filled a hole for me after WCW closed. Merkman, what's up, Merkman? Yeah, when WCW closed down, TNA was that other option to watch, the alternative at the time to WWE. So, and they're still the alternative. And then Rick says here, the reason AEW went to number 2 at the beginning was the Time Warner money. I think old Ted Turner saw the error of his ways after 2001 with WCW. Well, the AEW is backed by the Khan family with their money, and they got with Warner Brothers. So, but with AEW is still here. AEW right now is number 2, but we'll see what happens with TNA. Again, catch TNA Impact every Thursday, soon to be on AMC TV, but you can catch it on TNA Plus. So you get the TNA Plus app, $10 a month, and you get the full access, the full library to old TNA episodes. So if you love that WWE Network deal, TNA Plus has the same thing. And $10 a month, not only you get the weekly shows, the pay-per-views, and you can watch old school episodes that you used to watch and love. I highly recommend getting TNA Plus. For $10 a month, that's not a bad deal. And then watch TNA weekly every Thursday. And then also come right here to Aaron Loves Wrestling, because that's what I do. I love professional wrestling. And you can watch me do reviews of TNA, of the shows and the pay-per-views, and hopefully this year, with some of y'all's help as well, due to finances, I can attend some TNA shows. So I appreciate everybody coming in and supporting me on X, supporting me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Appreciate your support. I'm now on Facebook, so you can go follow me on there. I really appreciate everyone's support so far of the Aaron Loves Wrestling brand, because that's all I'm here to do, is to promote the love for professional wrestling and be positive about wrestling, even if I'm going to criticize it. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Go watch TNA. I love y'all, and I appreciate all y'all. And just remember, love professional wrestling. Have a good one, y'all.
From the first bell to the last stand, this is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Loves Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron Loves Wrestling. AEW, WENWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron Loves Wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no wars, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Fire, one world, one voice, taking us higher. Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event under the neon lights. And NXT has the rising stars, the future is looking pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight, from Wednesday Night Dynamite to Saturday Night Collision. New Japan battles, hearts on fire, from the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico. In every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AEW, every New Japan pride. TA line on the way, AWA on the rise. Different banners, but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron Loves Wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters, from the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound, when the entrance hits, we are all ready to start. Aaron Loves Wrestling, side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging Reigns. Different
logos on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place. From every city to every nation, we're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every chant. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. Never ends. From the opening bell to the final ring. Aaron loves wrestling. We all just love listening. The American Cowboy will always ride for this. Up to love, we'll always share the love of professional wrestling. For every ring, every wrestler, and every fan. One word, one passion, one truth that I'm confessing. I love